Well, hey guys, the other day I was going through all the bourbons and whiskeys that I haven't opened yet that I'm trying to get to do a review on, and I realized how many of these bourbons and whiskeys are under $60. In fact, there's 10 of them right here that I've not opened yet. My wife just retired just a couple days ago, and I'm thinking like, okay, for the month of June, we're going to highlight bourbons and whiskeys under $60. We're going to try to save people money. I'm going to try to save us money. So the month of June we're calling Bourbonomics, and that's all about highlighting bourbons and whiskeys that are under $60. And you wouldn't believe how many good bourbons and whiskeys are under $60. Now, I'm not talking about store picks or limited releases. We're going to be focusing on bourbons and whiskeys that you can get right off the shelf, that are on the shelf now in stores, and that are under $60. So for the month of June, anything we buy off the shelf is going to be under $60. Anything we review is going to be under $60. Anything we blind is going to be under $60, unless we come across a store pick or limited release. In fact, I went to a local bottle shop, a friend of mine, and we wanted to show you just how many good bourbons and whiskeys there are under $60. And we don't want you to forget, there's a lot of good stuff at a very affordable price. So let's roll that beautiful bourbon footage. Okay, we're at the end of the bourbon aisle, so let's see what we can find for under $60. So here's the High West bourbon. And coming down here for you 1792 fans, and the Bottled in Bond is one of my favorite 1792s past the sweet wheat, and that's $44.99. And look here, Woodinville. For you Woodinville port finish guys, $39.99. And then Foolproof for the guys that like the higher strength, $49.99. Definitely under $60. But I have to stop and tell you about this Crown Royal Blackberry. Now, I'm not a big fan of Canadian whiskey and certainly not flavored whiskey, but this stuff is pretty good. And at $39.99, it makes a great summer cocktail. Mix it in with a little bit of ginger ale and ice. Fantastic. Let's go down here and see what we've got. We got a Rye 3 for under $60. An Angel's Envy. If you're an Angel's Envy fan, then the port wine, definitely under $60. Several Basil Haydens here, all under $60. We got one of the Wyoming whiskeys, under $40. There's a Thomas Moore. Don't really know much about the Thomas Moore. And the Milam and Green. We've got two under $60 there. I really like their very small batch, and that generally is under $60. And of course, you can't go wrong with Green River. And look at all these other Rowan's Creek, Noah's Mill, under $60. Isaac Bowman, probably the best port finished bourbon on the market in my mind is the Isaac Bowman. There's Bowman Brothers for $30. Old Scout. If you're in the wheat whiskeys, the Bernheim is a good wheat whiskey. And look here, we've got three Middle West whiskeys here. The straight wheat, their straight wheat bourbon whiskey, and their straight rye, all under $60. Here's a Gentleman Jack, $34.99, and Jack Daniel's Single Barrel. Now everyone talks about the Single Barrel barrel proof, but I actually like the Single Barrel Select, just their regular 47% better, and $52.99. And look at all these Old Foresters. How many of these Old Foresters? Every one except for the 1920 is under $60, and you just can't go wrong with the 1897 or the 1910. Now, the 1897 is my favorite, but the 1910 comes in a close second. We got more Foresters. You can even get a Calumet for under $60. 2 of them, in fact, for under $60. And Smoke Wagon. Several selections of Smoke Wagon we can get for under $60. You can't go wrong with the Chattanooga. Now, I'm not a big fan of the 91, but I love the Cask 111. I love the Bottled in Bond. And though I'm not a wine-finished bourbon guy, you can get one for under $60. You're into rye. You can get Templeton Rye for under $60. And any number of Jack Daniel's products under $60. Even their liter size, under $60. And believe it or not, I know that George Dickel has kind of a bad reputation as being mineral tasting and Flintstone vitamins, but this Dickel bourbon, this 8-year for $34.99 is a killer deal. I recommend it. I actually did a video on it recently. It really is a good product, and for $35. Here we got some Yellowstones, all under $60. Castle and Key, under $60. One of the Bull Runs, under $60. And look at these Blue Notes, both of them under $60. Not had the 93, but the Crossroads, if you like a bourbon finished in French oak staves, that Crossroads is really good, and it's $52. And Michter's. I always see the Michter's. All 3 of these are the 3 ones you usually see. The bourbon, the straight rye, and the sour mash. Always under $60. Old Tub. Although I'm not a fan of Old Tub, there's a lot of people that are. $26.99. Hell, you could get 2 of them for under $60. I'm back showing that High West again. We've got 2 chicken cock varieties under $60. Stellum Rye under $60. King County, 2 of them under $60. Whistle Pig, several under $60. Now, you're not going to find a lot of barrel products under $60 unless you find the Barrel Foundation. That is always under $60, and it is a great 5-year bourbon. So we got a Starlight Double Oaked under $60, and a Tin Cup Mountain Whiskey under $60. An Old Soul, and for all you Wild Turkey fans, Rare Breed Bourbon Whiskey under $60. Russell's Reserve, typically the standard Russell's Reserve is under $60. We've got their regular 10-year, and we've got a 6-year-old rye under $60. Several of the Kings under $60. Elijah Craig, typically under $60 for, unless you're getting into their barrel proof products, you can usually find most Elijah Craig under $60. The toasted barrel being the exception. $17.92. We just seen it. Even there, you can buy 2 of these under $60. Four Roses single barrel under $60. Even the small batch select, which is my favorite off-the-shelf Four Roses, under $60. And then Woodford's. You can't go wrong with Woodford's. It's a good mixer. It's good neat. It's good over the rocks. All of these, except for the gigantic 1.75, under $60. And you can't have a video about under 60 without talking about Knob Creek. And whether it be their 9, their single barrel, their rye, even their smoked maple, which I'm not a great fan of, all of them under $60. Maker's Mark. Well, if you're a wheated bourbon fan, you know that you can get most of the Maker's Mark selections under $60. Unless you're buying a private select, they're under $60. Even the 101 is under $60. You're a Bullet fan? All day long. Even the big bottle of Bullet 95 Rye, under $60. Their 10-year, under $60. Larceny, same way. And look, a barrel proof, A123, under $60. Wild turkey, you know you can get wild turkey for under $60. Even a long branch. Sagamore rye, there's under 60. There's another Sagamore rye. They're double oak, under 60. And let's show you some other bourbons, definitely under $60. Benchmark, always under $60. 13th Colony. Even the Rebel Cask Strength, under 60. Traverse City, several of them under $60. And this, the Jim Beam 7 years, $27.99. Buy 2 of them. You're still under $60. Look, we got 2 Bib and Tuckers, the standard 6-year and the double char, under $60. And Southern Star, they're Paragon wheated. And who doesn't know and doesn't like Granddad? Well, old Granddad 114. I like it okay. But at $35, it's a great deal.